The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, this is a very disappointing story, but it is the reality of the situation. We're here, right? We're here. Derrick Rose's career is in jeopardy, all right? For those who don't know, he's been dealing with like an ankle injury, a leg injury, little tedious stuff so far in his calves stint. He's signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers this offseason. This was supposed to be the year that he got everything together. He signed the veterans minimum. For those who don't know, that's only about $2.2 million. Very undervalued for a guy who's averaging 14 points a game this season, and he had a pretty decent season with the Knicks as well last year. I mean, you got guys who aren't even playing getting at least, what, 15, 16 million a year. Timothy Mozgov is getting like 15, 16 million a year. Luol Deng literally will not be on the court for the Lakers no more. Like, they don't want to play him. He's getting like 16 million a year, and Derrick Rose is playing for $2 million a year. On sheer popularity alone and putting butts in seats, Derrick Rose is worth more than $2 million a year. But this is what Derrick Rose wanted to do. He wanted to play for a contender, have attention on him, and kind of get his name back out there as a starting point guard in the NBA. It's not going as planned, man. He's only played in about, what, of the games that they played so far, he's only played in like, what, 5 or 7 of them so far. He's played in 7 games this season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he'll be out for much longer. All right, after figuring out in the last 24 to 48 hours that his injury it's not healing. One source close to the situation said he's tired of being hurt and it's just taking a toll on him mentally, all right? This all started back in 2012 in the playoffs, if y'all don't remember, when Derrick Rose tore his ACL, left knee, and he's been playing with injuries ever since. He's played in just 237 of the 412 regular season games, and one could only assume how many postseason games he's missed, because again, without him being around, it hurts teams like the Chicago Bulls, who were contenders, right? They were a team that probably a lot of people thought could challenge the Miami Heat or challenge LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers when he came back to Cleveland, and that's just not been the case. It's very sad. I'll be honest to you right now. I don't know if the brother will be able to return from this. He's considering retiring. That is on the table right now for Derrick Rose. The reason why he doesn't want to retire is because he has an $80 million with Adidas. And the only way Adidas, who I'm pretty sure they want out of that contract, right? That seems like a terrible investment looking back on it now. The only way Adidas would be able to get out of that deal as if Derrick Rose retired. Again, if he's on an active roster in the NBA, he'll get that $80 million, right? If he's just an active player in the NBA, in the league, he can get that $80 million in the shoe deal that he got with Adidas. If he retires, he can get that kind of stretched out and paid some of that over time, but Adidas can go after and look after another top athlete, this offseason and kind of put that money elsewhere. This is starting to have a Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway type feel to it. I would say that his situation might be a little worse than theirs, because, especially a little worse than Penny's, because D Rose actually won MVP, though a lot of us believe Penny Hardaway had MVP potential in him, and he's much more popular and more impactful on the game of basketball than Derrick Rose. From the standpoint, Penny had the doll, right? And he got the big shoe deal with the phone posits and the pennies. You know what I mean? Penny's out there, right? His business is good, and it doesn't hurt that you play with Shaq in Orlando and y'all had a really good season together. So again, all these things come into play why Penny's name might be bigger than Derrick Rose's, but these two guys are pretty similar. Tracy McGrady actually had a pretty long career. Grant Hill, though his career was definitely, he wasn't the guy that he could have been, he was able to kind of, make the best out of a bad situation. D Rose can't get healthy to play at all, right? T-Mac had at least, 7-8 years of prime, at least a good 5-6 years of prime, right? D Rose prime, I don't think he ever got into it. That's why if I had to compare it to anybody, it's definitely Penny Hardaway like. I think this is very disappointing. One of my partners asked me, what do you think is wrong? And I told him straight up, just kind of gauging D Rose's personality. I've never met the guy. He strikes me as an introvert. So I wonder, a couple things I wonder. I wonder, is D Rose just unwilling to listen to people outside of his brother around him when they give him advice about, I don't know, things that he could switch up, different regimens that he could switch up. I also wonder about this brother's diet. You know, he plays with LeBron James currently right now. And you think about how in shape LeBron is and how he's giving himself to the game of basketball. I start to wonder, maybe D Rose isn't giving it everything he has with his diet, right? Maybe he could clean up a couple things, or maybe it's things that are catching up with him and, you know, that he ate in the past. But the brother looks pretty. He's very thin. He got some muscle on him. You know, got really great bounce. One of the biggest bounces from a point guard we've ever seen. Him and Russell Westbrook were tit for tat at one point. And it's like, yo, he looks in really, really good shape. And there's always the possibility of this just being something very unfortunate, and it happened one time, and after that, it's messed with his confidence. And if you have a couple injuries, I don't care if you play basketball or not, you gotta believe it takes a toll on you mentally. You go through a couple surgeries, you're gonna start to think about stuff that you put in your body, or stuff, or the way you move around, for good or for bad. And I'm just starting to think, yo, maybe this thing is tearing on him mentally. It could be just bad luck. It could be what he's put in his body, whatever it is. Or maybe it's the people that working him out, bad workouts. Or I've heard a rumor about after the first surgery he had some second thoughts about the person that went, that he allowed to, you know, take him under the knife. Maybe he would have went with another doctor. I just heard a lot of things about Rose, and it's very unfortunate. Will he return this year? I doubt it. That could change, right? But I mean, again, this Cavs team is in win now mode. By the time he's able to come back, because they're going to have to go sign another point guard right now. They're thin right now at that position. Isaiah comes back in the next month or so, couple months we believe. By the time D Rose come back, he'll be out of the rotation. And again, he got off to a good start. He was averaging 14 points a game. Him and LeBron team that had the best chemistry of everybody playing. It just sucks to see that brother is not healthy, and it looks like he won't be able to get healthy. Derrick Rose is contemplating retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is a real story. He's dealing with an ankle injury right now, and people around Derrick Rose, a source close to saying, he's just tired of being tired. He's tired of being hurt, and mentally, he doesn't even know anymore if he'll be able to get this thing together to not only finish a career, but right now, the brother is struggling to finish a season. And I always thought about this. A couple years ago, I seen Derrick Rose in a press conference talk about how he's looking forward to his next contract. He's a max contract guy, and I always thought he was jumping the gun, because I was like, yo, D Rose, like, look, maybe your worth to a franchise could be max dollar if you're healthy, but yo, you have not been able to sustain great health. Now, we did have a decent season with the Knicks last year, but a career though. A career that has been plagued by injuries, and this is very unfortunate to see it. It looks like it's ending like this. Played 64 games last season, averaged 18 points a game. Very slept on 18 points a game. This year again, averaging 14 points a game. We don't know when we'll see Derrick Rose. He is out with an ankle injury, and it's not looking good, and he's now considering retirement. Best wishes to Derrick Rose. I pray the brother gets back healthy. Just want to see the kid play basketball. You know, he was a Memphis product, University of Memphis. He's from Chicago, Memphis. He went to the University of Memphis, and he lit it up for anybody who was a part of that Tigers campaign for that 1 year. We know how special that national championship run was. I don't care what the NCAA says. You can't take that away from us. But to see his career, how it's shaping up, yo, this is gotta be one of the worst ends to a promising Hall of Fame career we've ever seen in the NBA. Subscribe to my channel for more exclusive content, and I will keep you updated on this story. Very sad story. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.